So if we look at the left-hand one, again, setup-wise, very, very good. Nothing we sort of mentioned there, okay? Top of the backswing now and a good shoulder turn there. Head's gone a little bit kind of twisted around the side of that. Something that you just kind of do in habit. That's not the end of the world there. Now, to be fair, I would have thought from here now, as we start bringing the golf club down, in an attempt to try to get that pat on the inside, as you said, you try to get this, try to get this shoulder working sort of down and underneath, and all that did was cause that club to bottom out here at the golf ball and behind. So now at the point of contact, your hands are behind the golf ball. So although the club might have travelled from here on an in-to-out path, as you sort of see it, into the golf ball, when the club gets to the low point of the golf swing, it's bottomed out early. Now the club face is pointing to the left of target, and you just flick it left. And then the ball might be a few pull shots with your short irons, and then slice with the drive. If you do the drive on the back foot here, and you slick it with your hands, you come across the golf ball more because the club's further out there. It's just a slice. It's still going to be a slice, irrespective of where the path's going from there, okay? So then you try and stay on the back foot and just cause the ball to sort of start left with the short irons because you've got more loft. And you try to just get changing the path under and under. What you want to try to fit, if we look at this sort of drag-in drill there, that's a very exaggerated move, which is fine. I don't mind exaggerations when you're doing the drill because it almost pulls you away from where you were. I mean, your hands, if we're honest there, are too far left, aren't they? But if we can get your hands feeling over here compared to where they were at contest, that's over there, as opposed to over there. What we're going to try and do is, in some ways, find a middle ground.
So parallel to the left leg?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That kind of stuff. From here now, as you're coming to the golf ball, your impact would be kind of this way. You've got it kind of there in the dragging drill because you're doing that, which is fine, but it gets you away from this flicking behind the ball. And I think you were so conscious of the path.
Well, this is it. This is it. Yeah.
And every golfer does. Everyone says, oh, you slice the ball, swing from in to out. Well, I can swing in to out to in, all sorts of things. I'll slice the golf ball. What's the club face doing? The club face is going to be the dictation of what the golf ball is going to do. If he aims to the left, it's going to go left. If you then try to swing underneath it, it's the ground beyond the ball, it could deflect all over the place. So you've got to control that club face. Exaggerate that drill, as we said there, the shaft's way forward there. Then as you go into the golf ball here now, as you can, this is one of your good shots as you go into it. It wasn't a very long swing, which is interesting because when you were going back that far, it was going about 130, I think it wasn't it? So 120 or 120. This one here, even though you went back that far, when you came back to the golf ball, you can see your hands now going better. And that actually went the same distance as that one just because you got a more efficient strike. So still complete the same full backswing, then just get that impact thing. Work on more what the impact is doing with the hands and most importantly the club face, rather than trying to change the direction your club's coming from. You try and drop your shoulder underneath, and that's ways that people will try to change the path. I'll get my hips working first, I need to spin my hips out of the way, I'll get my shoulder dropping, and all these different moves. Get people in a position at the golf ball like this. I'm like, well, where do you go from? Just a waft with the arms, isn't it? Okay, as opposed to getting kind of there. And I think as well, if you try to focus on that dragging movement there we saw when you this, okay, I'll go back to where it was. You can see now your hips are kind of just moving in lines the left hand side. Everything's just kind of moving to achieve the goal of the club going from there to there on the ground. So the shaft, as you can see now, staying very vertical throughout that motion. There's no flick with the wrist. So all these things that you were trying to do anyway are happening based on one swing thought, one feeling, not hips have got to slide, shoulder come underneath, keep my elbow tucked in, use my hands, keep my arms. It's too much thought, isn't it?
Well, this is it. That's one of my biggest problems. There's too many thoughts. I'm looking at everything through one swing.
Yeah.
And because I'm not absolutely confident in following one particular path, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So basically, I think I need to focus on that one thing.
Definitely, yeah.
Then sort of.
I think it's got to be a question. I think for me, when you're on a golf course, people say, "Oh, you think too much, it's going to get worse." And when I just walk the ball and give it a whack, it's better. It can be a better strike, but it's not the right thought prior to shot. The shot when we're not in a good shot might be a good contact, but it could go 20 yards left, 20 yards right, or the wrong club. So your thinking could be done all behind the golf ball. So you're behind the golf ball now thinking about whatever you want to do. What club am I going to take? Working on maybe some thoughts there with the drill. So I'm behind the golf ball here now. Well, I've got 7-iron here now, yeah, so we'll say 130, pick a second on the button, for example. I'm here now, look at this bunker, there's the thing, okay. I'm back and I'm kind of feeling this, okay, I've got to get that hand action, get that drag-in drill gun, get the feeling of how the hands are going to work through impact, and then when you sort of pick your spot, go through your routine, you cross the line, and then you hit it. There's no thought here at all. You just stand there and just bang, give it a whack. The thing is, a lot of golfers grab their club, walk to golf, and okay, right, There's a tree and a bunker there, right, okay, I need to and pass on the inside and hands, and they're thinking about every single thing over the ball. That's everybody. I mean, you stand at a golf ball, and then you get the old paralysis by analysis, as we call, because you just stood over a golf ball trying to do a 2-second task, thinking about 10 different things. When you stood back here, you can analyse the heck out of it. No matter what you can say, okay, right, the bunker there, do this, do. There's no hitting of a golf ball here.
This is exactly where I am, because I'm questioning and looking at everything within that swing.
Yeah, exactly. But you're doing it while stood over the golf ball.
Yeah.
How many times have you hit a provisional ball really well, where you've snapped one out of bounds somewhere, or you've hooked me in the tree somewhere, and you say, oh, give me another ball. Then someone chucks your ball, you stand on there, all the alignment's been done from the previous shot, you go, smack, oh, why not that first time? Because there's no thought, you just stand there and whack it. But it needs to be all the analysis and thought and evaluating before the shot, doing all your drills and your practice stuff, and then when you step the golf ball, just hit it. You can't think about hitting the golf ball in the time frame of the golf swing is going to take 2 seconds. Okay, so we can work on that impact drill, get the hands and arms working through the golf ball. That dragging drill is going to be a good sort of sensation for you, and then from there just step the golf ball and hit it. That was good. The light was turned off, unfortunately. It was a good shot. But yeah, your objective on here is, can you get the ball right at that green line with club face, not necessarily trying to shove the path way out to the right, okay? If you do too much with the path, you lose control and then you drop your shoulder underneath and just hit the ground early. So it's club face control, because these swings now are half swings in your head, aren't they? But they're going in the sort of middle of your other shots were going, because you're striking it better. Look at the numbers on that one there, you see. Much more efficient angle and path is therefore a more powerful hit with less effort. So if we get the full backswing into it and get the hands in that right position, it's going to give you a much further and more powerful hit. So when you get a match, that was a fuller backswing but hit the ground behind the ball because of your impact, and it went the same distance. So we can, I think, to be honest with you, it will probably take, I don't know, put a number on it, we'll say 2 weeks to a month, depending on how much you practice on this, by putting the club down and do it at home. You just stand at home and just drag that club, probably like a welcome mat or something, nothing too much to ruin the carpet, but just get that feeling of how impact's going to work, and by focusing on that, other body parts, lovely, really good. Other body parts are working better. So that's just a better strike, it's gone 20 yards further, just because of a better contact. Okay? That kind of makes sense then, Mike, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.